watching Rainbow's Edge TV.
No, you're watching Rainbow's Edge TV.
No,
You're
Rainbow's
watching it.
Edge
Rainbow's
TV.
Edge TV.
Rainbow's
We'll say it
Ed-
together.
Rainbow's Edge TV. Watch it! Watch it.
Hi, everybody. We're here tonight at Gyralicious in East Meadow with the Wild Women of Comedy, and we're already having a time, I can tell you that. So, ladies, introduce yourselves.
Ann LaPuma.
Carrie Carabas.
Kid Stewart.
That's right. Most recently, I went to their show in Belmore, which was for the Harry Chapin Food Bank, and they sold out, needless to say, and the comedians were just phenomenally funny. You girls were great, really. The whole show was really wonderful. Tell us a little bit about how did this evolve? How did this come about?
Well, a few years back, I started, I actually did a very impromptu, for fun gig at my church.
Okay.
And I didn't know, I wanted to do something, doing like a talent show. So I ended up doing stand-up.
Okay.
And I loved it.
Yeah.
And
you were hooked.
I was hooked. I was very inspired.
One more time, put it together for Kid Stewart. Kill the lights there, Pappy. Oh, thank you. I really love you guys, too, except for you, Kathy. Oh, my God, so Wild Women of Comedy, one more time. Woo! My manager asked me if Wild Women of Comedy was... Why are you talking? The lights are out. Shush. Michelle, is that you? Listen, Wild Women of Comedy, she said, why are you doing a Wild West comedy show? I'm like, not Wild West, Wild Women. Wild Women of Comedy. Every time I say the Wild Women of Comedy, I like finger guns. I want everybody to go, pew, pew, pew. You got it? It'll be easy, all right? So, welcome to the Wild Women of Comedy. Are there any altos in the house?
You're gay.
You produced
I produced
your
this first show for the gay community predominantly. Of course, always straight friendly.
Okay.
And it was just an unbelievable hit.
Yeah.
We just not. It was sold out. You could not get a ticket. Couldn't get in. Couldn't get a reservation. 175 seats. It was like 180.
Right.
Yeah, it was
standing
packed.
room only. Okay.
Right. Which led me to believe also. You weren't at that show, darling.
Oh, well, you're welcome anyway.
I didn't know you then. Okay.
So you sold that out.
So we sold out,
and
which led me to believe
comedy was born.
Not yet.
Not
almost.
yet. Okay.
I did a few shows out there. I did a few shows out there, and they were all very successful. And then I had this idea that I wanted to do this like women's spectacular show.
Okay.
And I needed a bigger venue, and I found through Carrie the Belmore Theater.
Okay, gotcha.
Listen, so you know I had a hard time at school. Anybody know that? Yeah, well, I did. You know what? When I was little, my mother took medication to hold all us 29 kids that we had, right? Really wasn't 29, it was 6. And I'm the prettiest. Just saying. I was born cross-eyed, short arm. Here it comes. And some buck teeth. Right? I was challenged right from the get-go. Parents looked at me and they're like, wow, she ain't going to the prom. It ain't happening. I remember being in class and the teacher, first day of kindergarten, my name is Kit, but I was born Catherine. I'd never been called Catherine. I didn't know it was my name. So the teacher's doing roll call. She's like, Catherine Stewart. Catherine Stewart. And she comes right over to my desk. She's like, Catherine? Catherine? I'm like, I don't think she's here. She's not here. Yeah, that's what it was. That's what it was supposed to be. Anyway, did you guys see my, let me just show you my new headshot. You got a second? I got a new job. I now represent 7-Eleven. Hold on a second there. What do you think?
One thing, does anyone else love the Dollar Tree like I love the Dollar Tree? Right, I love me some Dollar Tree. I love it. I go in there and I can get everything I want, you know. And the best thing about the Dollar Tree is the music. I can get my groove on at the Dollar Tree row. I can. I can go in there and the music's like, boom, chicka, bow, wow. And I'm in there and I'm putting in like, you know, pot holders and Aziza lip gloss that expired in 1976. Lady of Guadalupe candles.
And the look on her
stop.
face
Don't stop.
is so real that it makes. You want me to do a share impression?
Cry. Yeah, do it.
If I could turn back time, I would find a way. I always wanted to be Cher. I didn't want to be a singer.
I had to let you show that. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, forever. Yeah.
And I had this idea that I wanted to do this like a women's spectacular. And I wanted to get all the people that performed in my first 3 shows together in one show.
Gotcha.
And that's how it was born.
Actually born.
And a friend of mine actually thought of the name Wild Women of Comedy.
Because I
and
read a little
really
something about you online. I think you're retiring soon or something.
I
Is
did
that
already.
right?
I
You
did
retired?
that, yep.
And I didn't see that you had any particular background or experience in producing the show. So I was wondering, like, well, how'd you get from there to here? You know what I mean?
I got this break by John Ryerson.
I know.
And it's just.
She gave that positive energy to the universe.
And it came back.
Well, that is a lot of
And it
truth
hit
in
you.
that.
I didn't know.
I look at a lot of this as divine
retired from
intervention.
comedy?
Did you ever notice when you sing Happy Birthday how miserable and depressed people look while they're singing that fucking song? Who chose that song? Someone that was dying? Everyone stands around, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. But you have to sing it because that bitch walks in with a cake. Everyone ready? 1, 2, 3. And you're like, fuck. Happy birthday to you. And then there's some person in the back who has to belt out the song and sing in harmony, like they're fucking auditioning for American Idol. This is what my mother does, because she's so narcissistic. Everyone else looks suicidal, and my mother's in the back, happy birthday! Check, check. Thank you for clapping, but it'll never fill the hole. I went to my friend Kim's birthday party from a big black family. They don't sing happy birthday like that. They have energy, passion, soul. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. I was in the corner. I was like. But white people are like, happy birthday. I'm white.
Check it out, man.
What is that?
It looks like someone's belly. Eh, probably lost it walking on the beach.
Man, just leave it. Let's go.
You know why I had to stop drinking alcoholically? It wasn't the DTs, the detoxes, the arrests. It was the drunk dialing, the drunk texting, Yes. Yeah. I was like, I know we broke up 3 years ago. I didn't mean to burn your apartment down. I was making meatloaf, your favorite. Anyway, I need you to know something really important. I'm naked. And I'm in the middle of airport security.
But actually, you were at the breast cancer show.
Yeah.
Yes,
and
I
I had
was.
heard you really kicked butt at that show.
Because I flashed
You
everyone.
rocked it. Did
I
you?
flashed.
Is that
I
why?
flashed the boobs.
There you go.
No, actually, it was a great show.
It was a great show.
audience.
Great lineup.
It was interesting
A
because
great cause. Because
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
have pretty much like 4 or 5 of my girlfriends have had breast
breast cancer, yeah.
all of them pretty much beat it, thank God, except for one who passed
All
away.
our girlfriends have had breasts. I'm just saying.
Always the comic. Always the comic.
She doesn't stop.
It's
No, but breast
hilarious.
cancer really is a breast
a big
cancer
issue,
really is
especially
a
on
big
Long
issue
Island.
on Long Island. It's a great, really is a great cause.
Well,
on
yeah,
Long
because
Island.
everyone's getting it from these stupid power lines and the water, and I don't even know what else.
I know everything.
All right, I'm sorry.
I've been doing comedy probably about 25 years. And funny enough, I'm only, started when I was
And
5.
you guys are making fun of me. I'm doing it 3 years.
But you're not funny.
Thank you
You're
very
awesome.
much.
Ann called me to do the show over at McGuire's, and then to do the Belmore Theater, and both times were for a cause. And listen, she sells out. It's incredible. And she does a great job.
She threatens people,
Come to the show.
I mean, her Facebook is obnoxious. Literally, it's every 5 minutes we're having a show.
That was another thing, because how did you get the word out there to sell out the 350
Yeah,
seats?
that first, it was
Really?
really, a
No,
lot of
she's
it
not
was
lying.
word of mouth.
But
She
she's
has a
on
huge...
Facebook. Like, today I sent her something, and within I hit send, it was like, reply. She's on it.
No,
A
I
little
happen to be
addicted.
in-
A little
Oh,
addicted.
come on. Were you on it, or were you on it today?
All right.
So seriously,
The
how did
point
you
is,
market it? 'Cause that
I'll
was
tell
phenomenal.
you. I'll tell you. Emails, Facebook, word of mouth. And Kit has a huge following.
Yes.
Carrie has a huge following too, but she does perform a lot. So, I mean,
And here's one thing about Ann. Everybody who meets her loves her.
thank you.
So,
It's nice.
everyone that was at the show, they love her. So that helps,
And the other thing is, she's always willing to. The money's for something. It's it's a really nice thing, and she's done a lot of charities
She
online.
doesn't keep any of the money. Any.
And she pays the comedians well.
I know you. I'm not joking.
Okay, good.
So what is your website for people to check on?
www.wildwomenofcomedy.com.
Okay. Well, it sounds good. Is
Yeah.
there anything else you wanna tell us or get out
Facebook?
there?
No.
Good. No, give us your
Yeah,
If
Facebook.
anyone,
Annie
it's,
LaPuma.
Ann LaPuma.
Facebook.
It's Lipuma.
All right.
P.U.
Facebook me.
P.U.
I'd love
She ain't
to
kidding about
be
the
friends
PU.
with you.
That would be great. I'll be
And
your friend.
I do a lot of advertising on there, a lot of networking. I've met great people through Facebook.
Okay.
I don't want any more
I've
friends.
met fantastic comedians.
Okay.
I really did. I've
Yeah,
met
yeah.
unbelievable.
I've met creepy people.
And I'll tell you, the comedy industry, for me, it's been a fantastic experience.
Yeah.
I've
It is a
met
lot of
so
fun.
many wonderful
I
people.
promise they come out to any of
And-
these shows, so you're gonna have a great time.
Yeah, and we're straight friendly always.
Oh yeah.
We
I
don't do
noticed that,
necessarily
didn't I?
gay shows.
I'm not straight friendly.
What I try to do is we try to mix it up.
Yeah.
We look for quality.
Right. Right.
Of course, a lot of money.
Had
A
Kit
lot
get
of
in.
5 hours.
Had
I
Kit
know.
get in.
Sign her up! Sign her up! She gets a couple of minutes in the next show.
There you go.
Very
See
good.
that? Well, anyway, girls, listen.
Okay.
It has been great talking to
thank
you.
you. You're very
and
sweet.
I don't know
I
about
just wanna
you.
explain a little bit here before you.
Oh, sure. Because I'm getting a little
starving.
I'm getting a little
I'm
I'm
hungry.
starving! Where's
So
our
go
food? Where's
ahead.
Mary?
This is the eggplant dip.
Beautiful.
I made it.
Personally.
That is the spicy peppered feta for this one.
Spicy pepper.
Our delicious hummus.
Oh my God!
and
Look what's
the
coming!
authentic
Whoa!
white
She wanted to write.
white sauce.
Oh my God!
It's beautiful. That's all I can say. So without further ado, normally we pause, we do things. Ay, ay, ay.
I get the camera.
Listen, there's nothing left to say.
Greek. It's Greek.
This is how you know I'm
This is
straight.
Greek food.
I'm eating a carrot and they're
Yeah.
eating food.
Yeah, well, this is how we know she's Greek. She's Greek.
All right.
Greek food.
We had a really good time, guys. Say bye. Say goodbye. Say goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, everybody.
So you're the new girl. Yes. That's cute. Go on in.
Mr. Felsnikov?
Thank you for overlooking my credit score. I was in college and I charged up a whole bunch of things that I really couldn't afford. Who knew employers checked that?
Hey, kid, I don't credit check you. You don't credit check me. Capiche? And sometimes it floods in here. You might want to start wearing boots.
Potential employers can check your credit. Don't let your bad credit put you in a bad job.
Hey kids, Jim Pizzo here again at the Huntington Cinema Arts Center, where we're covering one of their many special events. Tonight's event is Stonewall Uprising, and it's presented by the Long Island Gay and Lesbian Film Festival, where the Huntington Cinema Arts Center is their home. And it's going to be a really interesting evening. We have Kate Davis, who's one of the two documentarians who has made the film, and she'll be here this evening. We'll be getting an exclusive with her for sure. And I just wanted to take a brief moment to tell you that during the show that you'll be seeing, we had an All About Eve special event, and the day of that evening, Vic Skolnick, one of the founders of the Huntington Cinema Arts Center, passed away. And the community has lost a true friend, and he was one of the two responsible, him and his partner Charlotte Skye, were responsible for bringing the Long Island Gay and Lesbian Film Festival every November here, but also Vic was the advocate to do Out at the Movies, which is what this event this evening, Stonewall Uprising, is a part of. So we want to say, Vic, we love you, we miss you, and we know you're looking down upon us this evening. We'll see you later, kids. Hey kids, it's Jim Pizzo again, and I am honored to be here with David and Kate, the co-creators of this evening's Stonewall Uprising documentary as part of the Long Island Gay and Lesbian Film Festival's Out at the Movie series here at the Huntington Cinema Arts Center. Gosh, what a mouthful. But I just want to say how honored we are to have you here. And the community, I'm sure, I wish there were so many more people here, but the people that are here are the ones who are concerned. And some of the questions that I have that we want to discuss tonight are, A, how did you get into the documentary genre? But B, with nothing really being out there for the Stonewall riots, there wasn't that much footage at all, if anything. What prompted you and how much research and time did it take for you to put this together? And why was it such a passionate subject for the two of you? So we'll start with wherever you want to go.
Well, gee, that's a big one. Documentaries. Why documentaries? I think by chance I started to make them in college, and I fell into a course taught by Ross McAway, who did a film, Sherman's March, pretty well known, and loved it. You know, I found that it was a way to help tell stories that were meaningful, that could change people and move them, and so I don't know. I also was an amateur musician, and documentary filmmaking involves sound and music, and politics interested me, civil rights issues, social justice issues. It kind of had it all. So that's how I started. And then I dragged David into it.
Yeah, well, I'm sort of a child of the 70s, and I'm still naive enough to believe you can change the world, you know, maybe one movie at a time. And so Katie and I have been making civil rights films, social commentary movies for, I don't know, we're going on 17 years now.
And very award-winning, too, from what I've read.
Well,
congratulations.
I've had our highs and lows, let's put it that way. Sure. But we've had a few highs, and I'm not complaining. But Stonewall was really, what was exciting about it, in a way, is it's the first documentary to really take a square head-on look at Stonewall. There's been John Scagliotti's, before Stonewall and after Stonewall, important films, but they never really said what really happened that night.
Correct.
And so we found ourselves in this amazingly lucky position to get to tell that story.
But such a seismic event, and so powerful and so spontaneous, where there was not many pictures or anything on film, really, because it was such a spontaneous evening. You, in your research, you must have come up against brick walls, and you must have been getting, I'm sure, getting very frustrated.
We did, and we started out thinking, well, we'll be really thorough, and we'll uncover the great, boxes of film.
There you go.
In somebody's attic. And it was not to be had. I mean, the CBS, NBC, and ABC networks, which is really what there was back then. People didn't even have obviously didn't run around with cameras.
Right.
They
nor
didn't
cell
want
phones that had
nor
cameras,
cell phones,
right.
Nothing. And those networks would cover the Harlem riots, but nobody really wanted to go down and have a gay skirmish on their television stations.
Right.
So
you got drag queens, fighting the cops. We don't really want to see that on network television. Thank you very much. Right. So,
but now with Mike Wallace doing his report, which I hear you do put, I haven't seen the documentary yet. I want to see it from start to finish. That's why it was more important for me to get the interview than to see the documentary tonight. I can go into Manhattan anytime. But you mentioned how, and it was mentioned in some of the reviews, that Mike Wallace's segment and how he said about homosexuals, they're not going to have partnerships that are going to be lasting, yada, yada, yada. I'm misquoting. Did you think of maybe getting, I'm sure you might have, gotten in touch with him to see if he wanted to be a part of this, to maybe recant some of the statements that he made during that segment of the, of his evening broadcast that
Yeah,
year?
I mean, that's an interesting idea. And actually, we know Mike Wallace a little bit. And I do believe that he's embarrassed about that,
I think
you
so.
know. But the reason he's in there is because he was simply, you know, he's doing his job and he was reflecting the times.
Yes.
And it was absolutely taken for granted that gay people were thought of as, you know, perverted and mentally ill and what else,
Oh,
you know, do we have any
criminal? I mean,
criminal?
they should be
drugs
locked
were
up.
going to be given, that they were going to be, it was going to change
We can
them.
lobotomize them, castrate,
Absolutely.
give. It's so the Times. The reason we wanted to put Mike Wallace in, and the reason the film actually grew to be a feature-length film, is because we thought, you know, how do you really understand the Stonewall riots? What was going on, and that spontaneous anger, which explodes in the last third of the film.
Absolutely.
You really have to put yourself back in 40 years ago, and we've come such a long way.
Absolutely.
And people, I think, have forgotten. So when you see these clips, you go, oh my God, they said that on network television, and everyone was nodding their heads going, oh yeah,
Yes,
that's
they
true.
did. That's true. I remember we used to watch the news around the dinner table, and we used to see that, and you'd hear some of the comments. But now there's also the police detective, not the detective, the head of the police department that's included in this.
Yes.
That he was there the night of and in charge of his police force then.
Yeah, Seymour Pine was he was a cop who actually led the charge for the first night of the riots, and he's in his 90s now, and he's in some ways provides some real heart in the film because he also has changed a lot. I don't want to give it away for people who are going to see the film.
If you want to see the film,
but he went in there fully planning to bust the bar, you know, and literally take the bar itself apart, as well as arrest a lot of gay patrons.
I was the executive director for Long Island Pride's Association here for Long Island for about 5 years, and in doing my research about, because this really sparked what we know today as the gay rights movement, and even one of the reviews said it is your Rosa Parks moment, and we do have that for our community with this. But one of the things I remember doing the research is that the police were just so flabbergasted that the drag queens, the men in dresses, and even the gays that were in the bars went outside and uprooted parking meters, and banned the door, and really took charge to say no more. They never felt that. I think the police never felt there was going to be as hostile as it was, because they had just had enough.
They had, and Pine is sort of an unlikely hero in this regard in the film, because in the riots, which are really a lot more dramatic than maybe is commonly understood, not only were the cops barricaded in the bar, people were throwing Molotov cocktails in, trying to set it on fire, and the police were terrified. They were sure that these hundreds and hundreds of rioters were going to break in and kill them. And so at one point, you know, all the cops have their guns drawn, and it's Pine who cool-headedly tells everybody, you know, don't fire until I fire. And, you know, who would think that a straight white cop who led the raid would come out looking pretty good 40 years later.
40 years later.
And he really went through a change of heart. And when we interviewed him, right after he'd done the first round of interviews, he was in a wheelchair at the time. We wheeled away. He said, you know, I felt bad for those kids. They were just kids. And what were we doing? And I said, you want to say that on camera? And he went, yeah.
Good.
And
good
that's
for you. Good for you. That's
anyway.
And good for him too. That's full circle. Things come full circle. And I really appreciate it, because then we moved out of New York at the time. My family, as I told you, I lived in that area. But one of the things that I remember was, at the time, the first Pride Parade was so out of that chaos and out of that uprising, was such a peaceful event where the anticipation, I remember in growing up, that I was asking my parents, they anticipated it was going to be as contentious as were the riots of the evening, and it wasn't. And it's grown that this Sunday, we are filming on the Thursday before Heritage of Pride's big event on Sunday the 27th of June, and hundreds and hundreds of thousands, and we still have a long way to go in our community. I know we do. But to see that, and yet I'm proud of the fact that with Long Island, and we're with the Northeast Regional Pride, that we are in the country, just in Pride marches, we are in the top 12. So I'm very proud of that fact that we are in our 20th anniversary this year, and we've made that happen. But it's people like you who help. What I feel is important is for the youth to see where our movement came from, why you have to pick up the baton and carry it forward. And I think they finally have something that we can all recommend to the youth to see. And there are 2 youth groups we have here on Long Island, and if they don't make it as part of that they should be seeing this, I'm going to recommend that they do.
Because it's amazing how little people know. It's amazing.
Yes.
I mean, all people across all walks of life, I've found, even gay activists in their 60s don't necessarily know really what went down during the course of several nights of rioting. But the youth especially, I was talking to a gay youth some months ago who said, I think I've heard of Stonehenge.
Oh, no.
So,
See,
you know.
It's very important that we always feel in our group with Way Out Media that we have to educate the young, and we have to be there as role models for them to show them that there are positive images, but here's where we came from and came out of.
Yes, because it's not, we really didn't want, we wanted to take Stonewall and take it out of like the, if you will, the ghetto of, oh, it's just gay history, and say, no, this is civil rights history, this is human rights history, and it deserves to be in the pantheon, up there with the March in Selma, Rosa Parks, Martin Luther King. These were incredibly courageous street youths who had nothing to lose. They were prostitutes and drug addicts, and they were the ones who stood up and had the courage to fight the cops and say no, and the gay community in New York just went up and went, you're right, enough is enough. And that kind of mentality, I sort of miss. I think that's there's a lot of passivity in their very computerized generation, and hopefully this film can inspire some people.
All right, so how can I be your champion? Because I feel truly, I really feel strongly about it. You have to be nominated for an Academy Award for documentary. We have to get this going, the campaign. What do you think, viewers? We've got to get this going.
But right now, what's going to help is if people know of the film, if people really recognize the name and have seen it and tell other people. Right now, it's opening up just in the next few weeks across the country in some 30 cities. But it's playing this week and held over next week at Film Forum, and people should go see it in New York City.
New York City, and it's here. And look, I'm shocked. And I'm honored that it's here on Long Island because it's our 20th anniversary, as I said. But I'm very honored to have met you both because I've been doing my research now since we came for the All About Eve event. And I said to Sharon, I'm doing their interview because I've been looking up everything. And I'm just very honored. And I do want to say thank you very, very much. I haven't seen it, and I'm looking forward to it.
Great.
All right. So everybody, please, if you get a chance, you must go see Stonewall Uprising wherever you can see it, whatever city, wherever state you're in. Bring your friends, bring your families. And thank you, Kate, and thank you, David.
Thank you. Thank you.
Explore new worlds. Read. Visit literacy.gov and let the journey begin.
Good evening, everyone. As you know, I'm Jim Pizzo from Way Out Media, which we have the Rainbow's Edge and we have the Long Island Rainbow Connection. And I am thrilled and honored to be here tonight for the 60th anniversary screening of All About Eve, but even more so to be sitting here next to one of my idols, Celeste Holm, one of the true stars of Hollywood and one of the stars of All About Eve, who well deserved the Oscar nomination, but also won her only Oscar for my favorite movie, Gentleman's Agreement. Good evening, Ms. Holm.
Good evening.
But it's all true. You're absolutely. And I'm here with her husband as well, Frank Basile. Good evening, Frank.
Good evening.
Yeah. One of the key things that I did with some of my research that I want to know, forget about the movies, forget about everything. After you did All About Eve, you felt that you weren't getting the roles that you so richly deserved, and I agree with you. And you bought out your contract, it said, from Fox.
Yeah. And
you came to New York. Now, I was wondering, did you buy out the contract knowing you had work waiting for you in New York, or you just did catch as catch can and said, I'm going to take it on the road and see what I can do?
Yes.
That's how you did it.
That's it.
And then you got work, which was great.
Yeah.
And then you came back to Hollywood and did The Tender Trap and you did High Society. Where is your true love? Was it film or was it Broadway?
Oh,
Broadway for sure?
Well, it's because you get the audience response.
The immediacy.
You get it's an immediate interchange, love affair between you and the audience.
Correct. And that's great. I can't blame you. Please, 1/1000th of I was studying to be in the theater, but then I couldn't keep taking it on the road and auditioning. I know what you mean. It's that immediate response of the applause and the laughter and the immediate reaction, even if it's somebody coughing and you want to say, shut up. But, you know, it's that immediate.
They're there.
And they're there. Thank God they're there. And then the live performances that the audiences change that performance night after night. Without a doubt. one of the things I was doing the research on, and that you played such, as we spoke about before, you played such good friends to Margot Channing. But as we said, that we saw the quote, you introduced yourself the first day on the set, and of course Betty Davis in her inimitable style said what she said to you, and you said, well, I'm not going to be talking to that one ever again. But you played such best friends on camera, and the script was so rich. Was that easy for you, knowing the reality of what had happened the first day? Because the friendship came across absolutely brilliantly on film, really did. And your character was so torn when you did what you did to make her miss the performance, and then the irony of it is that she doesn't want to go on the road in Cora anyway. You know, that's what I loved the most. And you were laughing at the scene when when you were in the restaurant together. I thought that was so wonderful. So, what did you feel about both Gentlemen's Agreement and All About Eve? They were parts. Yes, they were supporting players, but you really believe that you deserved more, and I agree so too. What types of roles were you looking for, do you think?
Just interesting. Just a variety. I didn't, run away or anything. It just meant I wanted more sense.
Up from the stable? Up to the stable? Come to the stable. Absolutely love Come to the Stable. Your French was flawless. My cousin was a translator for the UN, and we saw the film together. She says, I don't know if she was ever French born or what, but she has no accent.
I went to school.
Did you really? Yeah, j'ai pris la leçon français avec le Obélix par semaine, mais je ne pratique pas. But, my dear, your French in that movie was flawless. Oh. Please, merci, but I feel so good. Well, I will let you go because I know that you have to have some dinner, and we're looking forward to seeing the film. And we've gotten permission to film the interview you're doing with Foster, and I'm going to interview Foster after your interview. And I want to say this is my 3 minutes of my 15 minutes, as Andy Warhol says, of fame. And I want to say thank you so much from both my mother, who Lord rest her soul, and myself to say thank you for this opportunity. Thank you. Well, kids, see you soon.
Hey, Sarah.
Oh my gosh, he's so cute. How do you know him?
Come on, Donovan, do it like I taught you. Love the new tattoo, Sarah. Let's go!
Dude, what? Dude, that's Sarah. The girl in the pink shirt. That's the girl I was telling you about.
Oh, that's Sarah?
Theater 2 on your left. Hey, Sarah. What color underwear today?
Hey, Sarah. So when are you going to post something new?
Anything you post online, anyone can see. Family, friends.
See you later, Sarah.
Even not so friendly people. Think before you post.
Hi everybody, this is Lois, one half of the Lois and Sharon traveling team for Rainbow's Edge. Today we're reporting live on Memorial Day weekend out in Orient Point. We've been invited to a garden party for North Fork's Women for Women. And we're hoping to find out more about this organization and the people involved. Actually, I'm really hoping that it's a tea party and that I'm going to meet Alice and possibly my favorite, Johnny Depp. But we'll see. Let's go meet these women.
Hi everybody, I am out here in beautiful Orient Point, New York at the North Fork Women for Women Fund. It is their garden party and I am with Sandra Benedetto, that is correct. And Sandra is the current board member of the organization, and she was going to give us a little information on why we came out here today.
Well, I'm the current board president of the North Fork Women for Women Fund, and we're having our Memorial Day event. This year it's a garden party to launch our community empowerment survey. The North Fork Women for Women Fund this year received a grant from the New York State Office for the Aging to do research and planning for creating an aging-in-place model for lesbians. It's the first time, actually, groundbreaking grant that New York has given to lesbians to find out what we need and what we're concerned about as we age. But we also want to cast our net a little wider, and we are, even though our grant is for the North Fork and lesbians on the North Fork, we realize, since our survey is online, that we can really hear from any lesbian, gay man, or transgendered person to actually hear what your concerns and what your needs are and what your strengths are, so that we can collect information about our community
and our needs
moving forward, regardless of geography, because that's going to help us create the right kind of programs that we need
for us. Yeah, well, I had said to you, we were just at SAGE, and that was a really good interview also, because it was men and women and transgendered persons, and they were expressing that, you know, they're getting older and they needed an outlet, which they felt they no longer had, because at some point you're no longer involved in the bars and whatnot.
Right.
So when I heard about this, I thought, wow, that you were given a grant in this economy. You had to have really put something special together. And also, I was interested in the organization from a couple of years ago. I love Kate Clinton.
Right.
And I had attended a fundraiser out here, and I said, well, who are these North Fork Women for Women? How do I become a member, you know? So that was, you know, really a fun event. You had the singer and whatnot. And you know, you're like the best kept secret, similarly to Ego. Nobody really knows who Ego is, and there's a lot going on out here on the North Fork. And, you know, I think it's good to profile you guys.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about the origin of the organization. I had asked you about one of the founding board member.
Right, and hopefully we'll get a couple of founding board members to get on camera today. But the organization was started in 1992 by a group of lesbians who are living out here, some full-time, some seasonally, to really look at and address healthcare needs for lesbians. The primary mission of the organization is to provide financial assistance to lesbians who are going through a crisis regarding healthcare. So we have, over the course of the years, probably given out, I would say, over $300,000.
Wow.
And we've probably helped anywhere from I'd say on an average, like, you know, 12 to 15 women a year.
Okay.
And it really is for lesbians, again, who live on the North Fork. We are, you know, that is a very, you know, a defined geographic area. But it's really a self-empowerment group so that we can help each other, because we realize that sometimes you're out of work and you don't have insurance.
Yep.
If you're on Medicare, often Medicare doesn't cover dental. We want to be able to build a community that takes care of each other.
Right.
And so that was the primary purpose, although it has actually then escalated to be a larger organization, social, and also looking at just providing
more services. Yeah, because I saw on the website that you do, if someone becomes infirm, whether it's physically or mentally, that you do outreach to those women out here. Who knew all of these lesbians were out here? This is a best kept secret. I've got to travel more.
There are hundreds of lesbians on the North Fork, okay? So come out here. We want you out here.
Exactly.
And in fact, our hosts today, who own this beautiful garden, are two women who actually run the Help Her service of our organization. And what they do is they actually, if a woman has been in the hospital or can't go to buy groceries because she's, you know, disabled either temporarily or, you know, for a longer period of time, they will actually organize volunteers from our community to help those women, take them to doctor's appointments, cook them meals if it's for a temporary situation, find other social services for them. So it does go beyond just providing individual grants.
And you had shared with me that the original founding member has since passed away.
Yes.
And I think it's very telling, and it must be something important that, you know, someone else picked up. A lot of times when that happens, the ball gets dropped and then the organization falls to the wayside. So I think it's a real testament to, you know, the original founding member and members, the goals of the organization, and then all of the ladies that have come on board and have continued to grow this to the point where you've got this grant since 1992. I mean, really, that really is a statement.
It is a statement.
And to stand the test of time. So
There's
I
a great-
congratulate you on that.
Thank you. There's a great commitment by the community for this organization, and we love to grow, and we want new members. And if you're a lesbian, come on out to the North Fork.
We've got to
We want
create
you.
affordable housing. We need to buy one of the farms and make it some sort of a
Maybe that's what we'll
lesbian
do, right.
retirement community out here. Now, there's a plan.
Exactly.
So anyway, we'll be right back.
Oh, those boys are much too much. Those boys are much too much. We got the spirit. We're hot. We can't be stopped. We got the spirit. We're hot. We can't be stopped. We're gonna beat them and bust them. Beat them.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life.
Let's get a little bit rowdy. R-O-W-D-Y.
Take time to be a dad
One more
today.
time. Oh, those boys are much too much. Those boys.
Okay, we're back. I'm here with Leslie Weissman, who is one of the founding members of the organization, and she's just going to give us a little detailed history on what she knows about the North Fork Women for Women Fund. Hi, Leslie. How are you today?
I'm great.
Beautiful, right, Dave?
Absolutely wonderful. One of our marvelous events that we do many times throughout the year. North Fork really started because there were a number of us that actually had some friends that died way too early of cancer.
Okay.
And we were very concerned about the fact that no one was really monitoring women's health care out here. And this is a cancer hotspot.
Yes, absolutely.
And we are aware of that. And
Right.
a number of those deaths were from cancer.
Gotcha.
And we decided right then and there that no woman should have her life put at risk because she couldn't afford a Pap test or a mammogram.
Absolutely.
And we decided to do this sort of self-help situation where we raised money from lesbians to help other lesbians.
Okay.
I think it's important to note that while we don't have a means test particularly, the grants that we give, they are not loans, they're out-and-out grants. We attempt to ask people who receive them to participate in the organization as volunteers as a way of paying back for that
which is a great idea.
contribution.
Yeah.
And our fundraising activities are varied. We've done everything from gong shows and karaoke nights to our big annual benefit, which is named for the founder, Janet Swanson, who also died of cancer.
Okay.
By the time she passed away, the organization was well underway.
Okay.
We began with a group who almost all knew each other, very small number. I mean, if we'd had a beach party, everybody would invite everyone they knew. They'd usually pile up on one of our Orient beaches at that point. And all their house guests, and there was maybe 30.
Yeah, right.
Now there's hundreds.
Hundreds.
We don't have enough parking
I know.
spaces.
Right. Which is great
And,
to have grown that much. Yeah.
What's wonderful for me is that about 10 years ago, when I was president, I decided it was important not only to get feedback from the community on the success of the organization and the things that might be improved upon or new inventive ideas, things that we could be doing that we weren't, but also to gather some demographic information.
Yeah,
We really
absolutely.
didn't know what our community actually consisted of in terms of age, income, educational background, ethnic background, and so we decided to do a survey.
Okay.
And at that point, there were no grants. It was me and a couple of volunteers with a calculator attempting to do qualitative data analysis. And the wonderful part is that survey is available. The current survey team has that information. So now with that as background, we can
that'll
actually
be interesting,
do
right?
a longitudinal study. We can do
Exactly, yes.
comparative data analysis with this grant to see how 8 or 10 years later
It's different or not
things
different.
Exactly.
Wow, that's
and
great.
So this is very exciting because I don't think anything like that's been done.
No, not to my knowledge.
Our organization is actually well represented in an archive at Smith College in the Sophia Smith Collection of Women's History Manuscripts. The curator there, the archivist, chief archivist, Cheryl Redmond, reached out to us because she wanted to have in that collection undocumented or underdocumented groups of women. And so when she found out about our organization and our community, she wanted to actually have material available for researchers. So the survey material is there from the first survey, and all of our founding notes. There are a number of things that are in the archive. my partner of 31 years has videotaped pretty much every goofy thing we ever did.
31 years.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Every
32 in September.
Oh, my God.
But I never take anything for
Right.
granted, so it's not September yet.
Exactly.
So I'm not, you know,
Yeah.
I'm always paying attention.
Right, right.
That's how you last for over 3
That's
decades.
true, that's
you know.
true.
Anyway, that archive is a treasure trove because there are videotapes of the kinds of things we've done in community. We've watched each other age on those videotapes.
Right, right.
And what's very important to us is that I'm sure that we have a number, many lesbians on Shelter Island and Riverhead on the North Fork who don't know about our organization or who don't really even know that there's a lesbian community here.
Right.
And what we really want to do is, we're not here to particularly attempt to convince people that they should participate. It's more about asking people to fill this survey out so that we can be comprehensive and accurate.
Right.
They can be anonymous. They don't have to participate in the organization. We would hope that they would enjoy it and would want to, but that's a kind of secondary goal. The real goal is to try and be as comprehensive as we can in this particular survey. So we're doing everything we can, including Facebook.
I really don't know why someone wouldn't want to participate with your organization, because this is absolutely beautiful. It's a really lovely event. There's wine.
Lots of wine.
From all the
We are in
local
wine
vineyards.
country.
Yeah,
Let me give a plug to the North Fork wineries and vineyards.
Exactly.
It's
So,
beautiful.
I mean, and this is really a great event, and I think that it's a real testament, again, to what a grassroots organization, movement can do. And I think it'll be interesting, definitely, to see from when you first did your survey to what this survey shows.
Yes,
so I look
we
forward
think so
to
too.
finding
I'm
out the
excited.
results. I'll come back out
Please
and
do.
meet with you guys.
Absolutely.
So, but
It
on
should be
that
very
note,
exciting.
yeah, definitely. It was really nice to meet you.
Nice
Enjoy
meeting
the rest
you.
of the afternoon.
Thank you.
And we'll be back.
Come on out to the North Fork. Or just come on out.
Just come on out. Really, right. Jiggle the knob and come out. All right, we'll be back.
Let's hear you guys. I'm coming out. I want the world to know, got to let it show. I'm coming out, everybody. I want the world to know. Stand up on your feet, let's have some dance in here. Come on, get up on your feet. I'm coming out. I want the world to know, got to let it show. We need more vocal volume in the monitors, please. I want the world to know, got to let it show. There's a new me coming out. You're telling me. I just have to live. Yeah. I wanna give completely positive. I know this time around I am gonna do it like you never knew it. Oh, I'll make it through. The time has come for me to break out of the shell. I have to shout that I am coming out. I'm coming out. Stand up, everybody. I want the world to know. Got to let it show. Everybody put 'em up. I'm coming out. I want the world to know. Got to let it show. Let me hear you singing. I'm coming out. Everybody. I'm coming. Got to let it show. I'm coming out. I want the world to know. Got to let it show. Maxine. Well, I've got to show the world all that I want to be, all my ability. There's so much more to me. Somehow I've got to make them just understand. I've got it well in hand, and oh, how I have planned. I'm going to know, and there'll be to feel. And I feel so good every time I'm here. Oh, I'm
You're too young to be sitting there, and you can sleep when you're dead. Get up, you guys. Clap your hands. Woo!
Happy Pride, 20 years.
Yeah. And let's celebrate Stonewall. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Be out and proud.
Yeah. That's right. That's right. Yeah. Coming out. I'm coming, coming. I'm coming out. Whoa, yeah. I'm coming out. I'm coming.
I want the world to know. Got to let it show.
Got the world to know. Yeah. I'm coming out. I'm coming.
I want the world to know. Got to let it show.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm coming out. Yeah. I'm coming out. I want the world to know. Got to let it show.
I'm coming.
I'm coming out.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Long Island Pride Parade 2010. Let's make some noise. 20 years of Long Island Pride. Who's excited? Who's excited? What about you people back there? Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready to have some fun? Are you ready to get crazy?
Oh boy. What does she think she is?
Everybody clap your hands for me, please.
I don't know what she's doing. I think it's dancing. She thinks she's fly with that. What is that? A Gucci bag?
I'm so gay. I'm not as gay as you are, but I'm gay. What this dance is, maybe someday you will stand on my grave and finally let me know.
Tell me, baby, one more time. Don't make me sit all alone and cry. Well, it's over. I know it, but I can't let go. Like a fish out of water, cat in a tray. You don't even want to talk to me. Well, it's over. I know it, but I can't let go. Won't take me back when come around and say sorry. Then it puts me out. I got a big chain around my neck and I'm looking down like a train wreck. Well, it's over. I know it, but I can't let go. Oh no!
It's boring. My love life is boring me to tears.
That's true.
After all these years.
No sunshine, no moonlight, no stardust, no sign of romance. We don't stand a chance.
I've always dreamed to find the perfect lover,
But he turned out to be like any other man.
I love
Raining, pouring, is
minutes here. I just want to share with you, again, I'm going to stop talking, but I have to say this. I have a lot of gays and lesbians in my life. And I have to tell you, I am such a better person for it. I will be there to support the GLBT. BLT, yeah. I'm there. I'm never going away. I will be supporting you guys. I am forever grateful for what you have done to my life. And I know that you can do wonders with people in your life. I'm just a better person to know all of you. And I love you so very much. And here's to 1979, Fire Island, July. And we're all gonna celebrate. Thank you for being here. And I love you. I love you, and I need you, and I want you. Come to me. For being in my life, I love you.
Sure.
So, we're back.
What a show.
That was a great show.
Great show. And the next one that's going to come.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
We don't have a lot of segments filmed. We have a lot of fun
we have
segments
a lot of
planned.
surprises
but
planned.
One of the segments that we do have filmed is the annual coverage to the Long Island Drag Invasion.
Yes.
Priscilla Pride covered that.
We'll do her.
And we're going to do like we did,
voiceover
like we did the voiceover
yeah.
for last year's Miss Fire Island. We're going to do some voiceover on the Drag Invasion with Priscilla in her own inimitable style, giving you some tidbits of what happened from
That
the
should
day.
say it all.
That
folks.
should just say it all. Mind you, look for our sponsors, right?
Yes, please visit our website,
www.wayoutmedia.org, and take a look at our sponsors, give them all the support you can, and thank them if you go to any fundraisers for them.
Yes, absolutely.
And that's really
it. And we'll see you the next time. Good to see you, bud. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.